Yes, jitambulishe baba. Mama. Yes, Jane. No turabata. Tanda na dogi nyamanga na matano ma. Habari ya mwaka mpya. Wewe ni mwaka mwero. Mwaka mpya inawapeleka aje? How is the new year? How is the new year taking you people? Kuna anything good? You have something good this year? Shiro in Auckland. Now in Kenya. Mothe ndire murakari. Mothe ndi mukanu. Ndi mwana wa Ngai. Mothe ndi muonoku. Rehei ndeto. Gika tundu 1 2 3 ndenda gikanga haha uguo. Na tundu 1 2 3. Ati nataka? Sin t-shirt. Imeandika sin moja. Eh, ndiko ndari gondiri twali rikuri wenda. Aji yade. Ziko they are in Kenya. They are already running in Kenya. So mundu gucio ndari. Bayo. Kwa bio yangu kuna namba yangu hapo. Kuna namba yangu ya bio hapo. T-shirt moja ya Shiro ziko. T-shirt ziko. Hata hoodies. Naona ugethie channel-ini ya Shiro ri ukore the items iria ci hau. Hena hoodies, hena cape, hena plates, there are caps, there are also t-shirt, there are also capes. All those items, if you find them there, they can also be accessed in Kenya because it's just a matter of placing an order and then ordering them to come. Yeah. So all those items which are zenye ziko kwa nini ya Shiro kama hii t-shirt. Kama hii ni t-shirt. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa the signature. Wakati uko nazunguka na bado iko customized huko nyuma bado huko nyuma iko customized. So they are there ziko in Kenya. So if at all maybe somebody might be in need of them, they are here in Kenya. I'm doing something. So let me pin my number. Oh, iko hapa. On. Hapa mbele iko hivi. You see? Hapa mbele iko hivi. Alafu kĩndire ngũbia nĩ ũndũ wa kũmwe gĩtĩo kĩu. Huku nyuma iko hivi. That's the way it looks like. That's the way it looks like. Very nice, right? Cool, eh? Jikire no mothe kwina kaheho kidogo. So they are there. They are here in Kenya. So mwenye anataka kwamba na the way it is written there, the way it is written there iko kwa sababu ya streaming, eh? So it is iko imeandikwa vizuri, ni venye kwa screen imeandikwa ni sasa iko opposite na read the other way around. So harida tupe kazi nikuondoe hoodies. Kuna hoodies, kuna masahani, kuna cups, kuna inaitwaje? These ones. Lakini ni zile za metallic. Ceramic, zile za metallic, sio za plastic. Kuna t-shirt, kuna capes, bado all those ziko depending sasa na what you want. Inakaoma kanini karagia. So tutigikara muno. Umuthi ndi mukenu, umuthi ndina ziko tumbler ziko. Just 1 minute. They are there depending on orders. So they are there. Kuingia na kulike ya ndumaigira na malike. Tamenya ile matumwendete watu mucaragiria content na watu mucaragiria tumucaragiria information. Ogora igitu. Otiga turamenya andu aingi aria makoma itu wata makoma ri menda guka gutuhurithania guku. Nduga ndingethikira njikire uguo umuthi ri njikire uguo umuthi ndatinda indo tondu ningwenda gubutere hena by the way hena one of the greatest blogger, one of the greatest YouTuber coming to Kenya. Unaitwa I show speed. So ningumubuatagira muno thaa ici South Africa, Swaziland. So I wanted to get more information. So what happened is that nilikaa indoors. So what I did, ndakiaga koiro kamusquito koyo kadamonirie muthenya gwikara tucinaga guku tondu guku kuihurite rwai guku na rwagi ruingi muno. So when I started the mosquito coil sasa ikareta hii maneno. Ti homa by the way, na ti homa. Nikanya muona thutha kitu dakika 30 thutha dakika 40 yokoka. Kaikite ate gathirite ndoma show-ini. After kitu 20-30 minutes katakuwa kameisha. Kesho ndakuwa sawa. So that is how it is. Andu maingira na kuraik. Mwaka mweru uramutwara atia andu a Ngai. Turugire mwaka gutiri horo wa kuhingicio, gutiri horo wa kuhenio. Mwaka ni mwaka wa andu ndenda munjire uria gukora taciri umuthi. Umuthi ri strategy. New year strategy. Yeah. New year strategy. with the time itaisha. So umuthi ri gwiciragia atiriri, ithuothe Ngai nĩ atwĩkĩte wega na ithuothe Ngai nĩ atũrathimĩte. Gũtirĩ mũndũ ũtarĩ na kanyamũ ara earn. So o ũrĩa mwaka ũrathiĩ ũkĩendereaga rĩ, what have you planned to achieve mwaka ũyũ? Niĩ makwa nini ndĩbangĩte na nĩ ngũmwĩra maũndũ marĩa ndĩbangĩire. Now tũrabangĩte na tũkauga atĩrĩrĩ, he handũ ndathire ngĩmwĩra atĩrĩrĩ, on holiday the last December I was supposed to go abroad. Ndarĩthiĩ nja, to be more specific, ndarĩthiĩ Japan. I was supposed to go to Japan through China. Yarĩ transit, Kenya, China, Japan. Hiyo ndio yarĩ cycle, and then of course I come back. But now ndeka mathabu makwa rĩ, ndiĩ kana ndĩrekire mathabu mega kana nĩ gũrũki. Ndeka mathabu makwa rĩ, tondũ it was a sponsored program. It was a sponsored program which I paid partially, which I was to pay partially and somebody to pay partially. Ndarĩ cover one way nake cover the other way round. Mũndũ ũcio akĩnjĩra atĩrĩrĩ, there are two ways, hena two options. Either ngũrĩhĩre that travel one way nawe ũrĩhe ĩyo ĩngĩ. Alternatively, we plan for the what after mwaka. You know, I told you that I'll be leaving gũthomithia once this semester is done. You think of what are you going to do after that? Therefore, I opted, handũ wa kwamba gũthiĩ rĩ, that's why I'm still around. Handũ wa kwamba gũthiĩ rĩ, let me opt for what I'm supposed to do after this. So what I plan after this, I'll concentrate on the safaris. The safaris, that is what I want to concentrate on. So my this year projections, mwaka ũkiuga nĩ gũthira, I will not be doing what you call the sitting interviews ta ici tũreka tũmaũndũ ta tũtũ. I'll be coming maybe for few 10-15 minutes, but most of the things that I'll be doing ikoragwo videos, upload videos based on how I'll be traveling. It will be very, very much entertaining. It will be very, very much captivating because ndĩrenda kuonania unedited Kenyan, for the positive Kenya that we have. Ũrĩa Kenya ĩbatiĩ, yani the positive part of Kenya, maũndũ marĩa mega matoĩkaine na kũu nja. Tiga makorwo maũndũ marĩa matindaga makĩrwo atĩ anga Kenya anga nĩ kũrĩ haro, anga Kenya anga gwĩ Ciiramu, anga Kenya kwĩ gĩko, you know, conflict, drought, what, blah, 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 blah. I want to show the other side of Kenya. That is what I will be concentrating on. And that one is going to start right here in Kiambu, then in Nairobi, then in other counties, and then I explode. That is my projection. So muthenya wa muthiri, that is what I wanted to see. We haku we ibangĩte atĩ, we haku ibangĩte the projection ĩrĩa wĩ nayo rĩ, at least ona ĩkorwo ndũkũnjĩra rĩ, but there is something that you have in you, the hopes in you. Maybe there is like a business uko nayo, you can share ideas with somebody, it's going to help somebody, and then it's going to, na mũndũ ũkwenda rĩngĩ by the age tie, then it's going to be a significant to somebody else. So expect mwaka ũyũ ũtanathira, wa 2026 mwaka wa 2026 ũgũkorwo wĩ mwaka wa maũndũ niĩ ndienda ũhoro wa gwĩciria ũhoro wa siasa. Ndĩraugire siasa ngeka. Oh, thank you, that's great. siasa angeka hangikorwo mswada wiho wa makanitha ni ukahituka no mswada wa makanitha wekaga kuhituka ni uhoro wa siasa ndigwika kenjike safaris. So Helen anasema yeye atakuwa anauza I'm selling rabbits. Yes, yes. Let me tell you something. You know that the business of selling the rabbits in Kenya. I think three items. Andu matari mamenya. Hena kindu gitagwo thungura, hena kindu gitagwo taki, na hena kindu gitagwo biashara ya kwendia ndutura. Ndutura ici cia muciĩ cia gũthĩnja cia nyama. Those three animals, they are really good investment in Kenya. If at all no, you can do that business in the best way. Maitĩ marĩa maingĩ tũkoragwo tũgĩka rĩ makoragwo me ma gũkorwo andũ you are doing it in a different way. Myself, I have already done a business of selling turkeys. Na nĩ hakorwo na gĩthĩnjĩro gĩa turkey harvest. Whether it still exists, I don't know. Maybe I can confirm. But in Hali, by that time, was back 2022, there was a slaughterhouse here, Turkey. And it was very much profitable business. So that one I know it is there. Biashara ya kwendia thungura, that one also I know it is there. So if that is your target, then that's a plus. That is a plus. Kenya ni kuna mambo maigi. Kenya kuna mambo mingi sana hatujui. Unaona kama Nakuru. Yeah. Unaona kama Nakuru ni kule kindu gitagwo Kirieta. In fact eke ndimwe na ndamwira uguo mande mbere ya Ngai. Nie ndi wa Nakuru ni ndakinyaga Kirieta. Na njikarite Nakuru. Nairobi ndorokire kumiuka riri. Ndorokire kumiuka 2015 hapo. That's when I came to Nairobi. Niko ndorokire kwa spend most of the time na Nairobi. But most of my time imekuwa Nakuru. Mundu wi kundu gwitagwo Ndunduri gwa Kiongo. Nakuru. That is my area. Na kuma mucii uthie Kirieta, it is less than you can even in fact no uthie nginya maguru na no uthie nginya na bike, although ugithie maguru ni go take time. But do you know I have never stepped there meningai Kirieta. Yeah, na ni mucii ni gwitu area ya mucii. It is Nakuru County. Hena handu hangi hetagwo riri hetagwo Hilux bado ni Nakuru. Yeah, ukienda from Nakuru from Nakuru town ukienda side za Nyahururu, somewhere in between somewhere called Kiti. Hena handu hetagwo Hilux hau. Na handu hau naho ndakinyaga. Na ndi wa Naiku. So there are so many things that happens which you have not already explored. He mundu by the I came Nairobi 2015 there, 2016 there. Na ndiraingirire National Archive thini last year. That's around 2025. Around 10 years. Ndithoma nginya ngite archive ndiramingirire last year. So hena maundu maingi muno makoragwo magikika. We have not ventured. Right now, I have never even visited what we call Nairobi National Park. The only national park within a city. Ndi ndathie kundu gwitagwo museum, National Museum. Na hithukagira hau. Hindi ndaumaga Nairobi ngathie maguru nginya Westlands. Na ndaturaga hithukagira na ndiumire nyingirite muthenya ono umwe National Museum. So there are so many areas that you have not visited. Yeah? So those are the things that I will be exploring. Those are the things that I will be exploring. The National Archives, the architecture in Kenya. In fact, I don't know whether you know. Giti kiria gikaragirwo ni Mzee Kenyatta. Kenyatta. Giti kiria gikaragirwo ni Kenyatta. Estate House. It is there in the National Archive. I went and I saw it with my own eyes. It is there in the National Archive. Bibilia Constitution iria yanyitagwo iria hitagwo nayo ni Moi. The Red Constitution iria yanyitagwo ni Moi akihitithio hindi iria akaga swearing in. It is there. It is real one. It is there in National Archive. So there are so many things that exist that we don't know. ginya the architecture the former architecture cia Teneview, they are still there in National Archive. They are there. But now kile iko tu gikari. And you know it is not expensive. Kile iko gikari. Tutikoragwo tugivenja na guthi kurora uthi kuona niki gikuo. You know, we don't. Urakora Kenyans we are so busy. Kenyans we are so busy. Aradi karibu. Kenyans we are so busy. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Rabbits and rabbits. Yeah, kwanja in fact mathungura mekoroi. Nona kindu gitagwo amphind. Ume. Mathungura makoragwo me mathungura makoragwo me ndawa ya ume, which is non-chemical way, biological way. Yeah, na NPK it is very rich. Na in fact ni makoragwo mena ni mahuraga na kire ni maruaga na that kiria irio kiu ume. Busy doing nothing is common in Kenya too. It is very rich in NPK. Adams, karibu sana. It is very rich in NPK and insecticide. Very rich. Yeah. Nita biashara na yari na ndageretie. Nita biashara na yari. Ukiga ngũkũ ngũkũ ici cia ngirĩndi kana ici cia kienyeji kana caged hens. Hi Rose. Ngũkũ ici caged. You know, ngĩciga ũrĩa cirĩkoragwo their droppings. Ũrĩa irĩkoragwo cikĩrekia droppings ciacio. Then you correct that droppings. Ugathi ukamihura canganya na mai na mairio ma nyumba maria ringi uraruga ringi makabici mathirire kiugo matakateni tuindo tuguo tu food stuff tucio tu ruminant. They do they have a very strong biogas. And then the excess the spitting ya biogas then it becomes now very rich in manure. In fact, there is no wastage. Wikoraga ati I think I'm going to bring that there is some nyamu ndathire ngikora documentary in YouTube ya that guy ureka wira ucio. The way you convert the droppings cigathondeka biogas and then zinatengeneza manure. So it is a cycle which it is not going to be having any wastage, and then it will act as a way of correcting, maybe trying to control or control the wastage. In other words, you don't have the wastage. The output of one, it is actually an input of another one. The output of one, that is actually the input of another one. So at the end of the day, you find that you cannot be able to have what you call the wastage. Now, the good thing about that, it is you actually control, you are going to have what you call the savings when it comes to what you call the expenditure on your side. So at the end of the day, some cost, for example, cost ta cia gas, cost ta cia thitima, cost ta cia even the mugunda fertilizer and so on and so on, they are going to be reducing very significantly. So that is one of the advantages. That is one of the main advantages. Because it's going to reduce your domestic expenditure. Can you tell us how we can buy trust treasury bonds? No, hena kindu gitagwo bonds na ni hari kindu gitagwo fraud digital. Karibu sana. There is something called fraud Nimegiwa fraud though. Then get to get bonds, and there is something else called treasury bills. Now, for you to be able to buy them, you must have what you call the CDC account. Yeah? That is the one which is going to be used. You know, like what you call, for example, like let me use something which is very common to all of us. Something like TikTok. You know, when you're dealing with the TikTok, ugikorwo ani TikTok, you're not going to get real cash. Ugukorwo ukiona kindu equivalent to the cash, but then it is not real cash. What is going to happen? Kana ta kire ta ndo mekaga forex. Biri ciaku ci account ya forex. You have to withdraw them to come to your M-Pesa so that you can use them. So even when you are dealing with something called the treasury bills and bond, you must have what you call the treasury bills and the CDC account. So CDC account niyo ukorwo ukihuthira kugura bills ici na bonds. So what will happen is no nginya ukorwo ukimenya atiriri where and which company is going to buy, which is company and which maybe institution is offering this bond or these bills. In most cases, kiria ngoragwo ngira andu na kiria ndanera, I think I have ever done such that video once again. If you want to buy a bill or if you want to buy a bond, make sure that the bond and the bill that you're going to buy, it is already secured. Ndugathi kugura bill na ndugathi kugura bond itari secured. For the reason being that if it is going to lose the value, then you are going to have what we call massive losses. Yeah? And number two, lazima confirm the kind of the return it is going to give you on yearly basis, and in most cases, some of them they give in yearly basis, and some of them they are around the half yearly basis. So at the end of the day, you must be in a position to make sure that whatever you are going to give as a bond, as like an investment in buying that bond or a treasury bill, you are going to actually get the same value of money when you get back your money. But of course, in between, you're going to get what you call the return. Yeah. So, gienda ku address kiria giki is how can you tell us how we can buy treasury, how we can buy trust treasury bonds? The only way you can do that, ndugathi kugura he andu metagwo brokers, just go and buy through institution itself. For example, hena kindu kirendagio ni Safaricom, hena bond cirendagio ni Safaricom recent, and you can see it mwaka umwe 6 months. I think zilikuwa zinaisha late last year. So nyamu icio ri, they were secured by several banks. So what was happening, ungirathire ugure bond icio ri, ugacoka urihagwo thutha wa mieri itandatu, na on top of that, the principal amount iria wakorwo invested ri ni ugacokerio mbia ciaku. Ungikenda guciroro over, you can also still roll them over. But remember, they are going to be having an accrue of the return. Yeah. Thina uria urakoragwo ho ni atiriri, the return iria cirakoragwo ho, it was citirari nyingi uguo muno, but it is good handu wa mbia ciaku cikoragwo ci dormant, because in fact it was better than uthi gwika nyamu utwara mbia ciaku savings account. Savings account, it is not good. Tondu savings account iheanaga rate, like for now, ungitwara mbia ciaku saving account ya, for example, like M-Pesa, M-Shwari, I think huwa wanalipa something to do with 80%. I call it around 80%. Na ni per annum. So, uguo ni kuga atiriri, ungi-invest ciringi igana rimwe muthenya wa umuthi. Yeah? Ungi-invest igana rimwe muthenya wa umuthi he Safaricom. If at all it will be 80% per annum, then igakorwo ciringi 8, thutha wa mwaka uyu. So ciringi icio 8 ri, ungicigania ri by 12 ri, uguo mweri umwe ri, irakuhe mbia cigana? Ina calculator. Ika ithabu riu. uguo mweri umwe 8 divided by 12. Yeah. Let me check. Let me check. 8 divided by uguo mweri umwe irakohe magotore 0.6 magotore. So that percentage is very very ugithi kugura BCG na bonds, make sure no warora kwanja maundu macio meri. Namba ya mbere ukaroraga return iria gukuhe, na namba 2 ukarora kana ni secured. Hego ni secured ura ihenya. Na icio unsecured nicio cikoragwo ciina interest nene tondu citikoragwo matikoragwo mafactorĩte in the risk factor. So kiria makoragwo makĩrua andũ moke ma invest kũrĩ icio nĩguo, tondu makoragwo makĩrua andũ moke ma invest kũrĩ icio na interest nene, but icio cikoragwo cihana pyramid scheme. Nĩguo gwacaĩra mũndũ athiaga ũkagũthwo kĩrĩ na Ngai agatigwo Ngai. So you have to be very very careful. After na ujue banks hena kindu metaga the terms and conditions, the T&C. One of the terms and the condition, ona ũgĩthiĩ gũkua loan ikoragwo ĩrĩ atĩ that rate that you are going to pay, the interest that you are going to pay, it is subjected to changes. No icenjio without your notification. Nĩ ũterĩtwo. So we ũgũthiĩ ũgĩciria nyamũ yaku ĩrĩa ũrĩa yaikarĩte, ũgĩcoka gũthiĩ ũgakora interest nĩ ya rogi. So you have to be very 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 careful. Indo icio igĩrĩ is very important. No, that one, I cannot be able to suggest which one is the best for now, unless now you go and do what you call the analysis. The best shares that you can buy for now, that one, because I'm not in the forex ndikoragwo ndiendaga tondu hindi maundu ma forex ndia mambire guka magituika so rampant in Kenya. Ani ndendire kweherera, ndirenda kuingira in that business, no ndendire kweherera tondu ndonire haha ni ukuhaka gikora ni ukuga dawa njega ni unginjuria dawa njega muthenya wa umuthi. Ungienda kugura shares, kwanza enda kwa NSE, Nairobi Stock Exchange. Ambia uthii urore shares iria cirakura, they are growing. The shares which are growing very much. Then once you realize which one are they, then you can be able to make a decision. Na ndugetikire, for me I always tell people, ndugetikire kumake a decision by anybody. Just go and visit. These things are in public domain. It is actually, in fact, it is in the website. Just go and see the shares which are actually working based on the amount of money that you want. Kana be already go invest in how much money you want to go and do an investment of, so that at the end of the day you are going to buy the number of shares depending that the capitation your investment, the capitation you are the investment that you want to do. Otherwise inaweza kuramba. And I don't like kumikira mundu decision, because shares, they are very volatile. This is very volatile. Now make just as latest mistake, now we call it okay lose, and then ukambagia kuga Mkenya naye wakuhingici unyenda kaba unjire atiriri twikare thi tu discuss, no ndikoja ta platform teno ndigenda kuheana advice there. Kaba twikare thi ndikwire this is how the Nairobi Stock Exchange operate, this is how it should be, or this is how maybe we project maybe the year is going to be based on the external factors. For example, mwaka huu tunamenya mwaka next year will be the year of election. So mwaka huu nito na so many predictors, so many of them, and so many external factors which are going to play in Nairobi Stock Exchange. Hari shares na nĩ mũkuona maũndũ maingĩ mũno magĩthiĩ, they are very very fine. Ciokorwo ciina sharps either iga spike igaikũrũka, iga spike igaikũrũka, iga spike, that one is going to be there because hena kĩndũ marenda ku project na hena kĩndũ marenda kũrehe, nĩguo mũkorwo inyuĩ mũkĩona atĩ something is going, or maybe something is going toward the right direction. But then after the election, that is when now things start now to show what they are. Na nikio wonaga eh, ihinda rĩrĩ hĩndĩ ĩrĩa election ĩrathiĩ gũkuhĩrĩria, hena mbia nyingĩ mũno cikoragwo cigĩitwo in the economy. Na happy new year. Na mbia icio cigũcoka citwo rĩ, what they are going to do, mbia icio cigũkorwo cigĩitwo, mbia icio cigũkorwo cigĩũka cikarandi mĩhuko-inĩ itũ ithuĩ twĩta society, tondũ cirauma kũrĩa cirauma cigoka cigatũkora, na rĩngĩ mbia ici rĩ, hena kĩrĩa ciarongoreirio. Therefore, at the end of the day, the government ĩgĩthiĩ gwĩka mathabu mayo ĩmenye nĩ mbia cigana ciĩ in the flow of they are flowing in the economy, ĩgũkorwo ĩgĩ-capture mbia icio, atĩ mbia icio already ciĩ in the circulation. Na remember, mbia ici hĩndĩ ĩno mathiĩ mahaka campaign, take for example, like people who are more of Christian, let me say that they don't believe in politician money, the politics money. So what is going to happen? Thirikari ĩkorwo ĩkĩassume atĩ mbia icio nĩ ciaitwo, mbia icio cirĩ mũingĩ, no hena andũ matananyitwo nĩ mbia irĩkũ. So ũgũkora decision iria ĩgũkorwo ĩkĩmĩkwo ĩgũkorwo ĩgĩkũ-affect we nginya wĩ Mũkenya we, ilhali wewe you are not the beneficiary ya mbia iria citũmi. So hangĩkorwo nĩ mbia nyingĩ citwo nĩ wanasiasa rĩ, so government now, the CBK, kĩrĩa ĩgwĩka rĩ, tondũ they are parallel, hena kĩndũ gĩtagwo physical policy na monetary policy. Monetary policy ya realize atĩ hena mbia nyingĩ ciraitwo rĩ, then the physical policy it comes into play. Either they start now what we call the development, nĩguo makũhe the reason ya gũthiĩ kũhũthĩra mbia irĩkũ. Na nĩkĩonaga maũndũ maya mathiaga concurrent. The more you get money, the more you are going to be given the politician money, the more you are going to find some kind of development cia wanasiasa cigĩthiĩ na mbere hapa kuria. CDF ũkona nĩ ĩraruta wĩra kĩu, macukuru kĩ, nĩguo mũheo a reason ya kũhũthĩra mbia irĩkũ. Failure to that, what will happen? The interest rate nĩ kwambata ĩkwambata. Rĩu rĩ, kĩrĩa hakoragwo hena thĩna nĩ rĩrĩ, as the interest rate increases, we wĩta mwana biacara rĩ, ũgũkorwo ũkĩigua ũritũ gũthiĩ gũkua mbia bengi, tondũ thogora wa mbia rĩ ũgũkorwo wĩ igũrũ. Wĩkore we mwenyewe rĩ ũrathiĩ ũgakua mbia rĩ, mbia iria ũracoka ũka expect atĩ ũgathiĩ kũrĩha rĩ, cigakorwo rĩngĩ ona ciĩ nyingĩ gũkĩra iria wakui. So at the end of the day, it becomes very much expensive for you to go and borrow that money. Therefore, hau nĩho wonaga biacara nĩ ciambia gũthiĩ. Na nĩkĩonaga nginya wana biacara, the private investors, they always complain na mbia ici wanasiasa makoragwo magĩita, because nĩ cikũma affect. They are going to affect their way of doing the business. Tondũ hĩndĩ ya the monetary policy now yoka into play, what is going to happen? They are going to raise the interest rate. Alternatively, kana government is subject kũrĩ development, nĩguo ĩkũhe reason ya kũhũthĩra mbia iria, kana ĩkorwo ti ũguo rĩ, yambatĩrie igoti rĩa mao iria indo. So there are three things which can happen. Either interest rate yambatĩre, either development cikĩke nĩguo ũheo the reason ya kũhũthĩra mbia ciaku, na number three, igoti rĩambatĩre, indo ciambie kũgĩa goro. Tondũ wa mĩtugo nĩ yagwĩka atĩa? So, where were we? Ona ndariganĩrwo kũrĩa nyuma. Then you must update. So that's why I said ndiendaga kũ-advise andũ, yeah? Tondũ ndahota gũkũ-advise no ũthiĩ ũgũre shares ta cia, for example, I'm just going to give as an example shares ta cia Equity or maybe ta cia KPLC, but all of a sudden wone maũndũ mambia gũtuĩka indo kwanja ta thaa ici, this year na next year, maũndũ mambia gũka gũ-play in the economy rĩ, wone shares, the value of shares nĩyambia gũikũrũ. Rĩu ũkambagia kũnjĩra Mũkenya we nĩ wahĩngĩci, no ti niĩ ndendaga kũhĩngĩcire, niĩ ndagĩra ngĩkwĩra kũringana na information ĩrĩa yarĩ ho at that time, because tondũ shares cikoragwo mũndũ akĩrĩra nacio as per what is happening at that time, unless you are very very perfect in doing the analysis, kana ũkorwo wĩ mwega wĩkĩte analysis ya several election periods. That is the only way you can. Na niĩ how did I have not done that. Tondũ niĩ ndendaga gũkorwo gũgĩcoka gĩkora. No, I cannot do that for now. So I cannot be able to give an advice which one, but for the good thing, To me, okay, you have COVID excess money which you have and you want to do some kind of investment. The best investment or the best thing that you can be able to do, it is to go and look for secured bonds or treasury bills kana ugure an asset uramenya nira appreciate. Ndukagure asset iramenya nira depreciate. Buy an asset which is appreciating, and in most cases you can buy something like the rand. That one is a guarantee. Mkenya, pole for bringing out topic about Mkenya, pole for bringing out of topic, but yeah, about marriage. We are suffering a cheater's spouse, polygamous. Okay, yani oro wado yali. No, let me ask you something. What does the Bible says about the polygamy? Does the Bible allow the polygamy or not? We start from there. Todoleke guire, how I always define my life and how maybe I can talk about my life or how I do. Let me first put something here. Kenya mbere ndirikania andå subscribe na marike. So guoya atiriri, Biblia, what does the Bible say about marriage, about wife, and about polygamous marriage? Ni Biblia thomaga injiraga atiriri, hindi iria Ngai ombire mundu ri, Ngai ombire mundu ari wa muthuri umwe, ari mwanake umwe, mundurume umwe na mutumia umwe. Yeah? But along the way andu magicoka makirehe doctrine, andu magicoka magiuka na uhoro wa gukorwo marahikia atumia aingi. Yeah? What am I saying is this? Tungithie Biblia ri na tungithie biblically ri, most of the forefathers nginya ithe witũ wa wĩtĩkio ũrĩa wetagwo Iburahĩmu ndarĩ wa mũtumia ũmwe. Daudi na nĩtũmũĩ na Biblia ĩkoragwo ĩkiuga nginya nĩ mũrata wa Ngai, person after my own heart, ndarĩ wa mũtumia ũcio. Sulaimani na niwe wahetwo ũgwĩra mũingĩ biũ, na nginya Biblia attested that gũtirĩ mũndũ ũngĩ ũrĩ waheo ũgĩ ta ũcio. Na ndiũĩ kana nĩ gũkagĩa, tondũ macio no Ngai ũĩ. Ngai nĩwe ũĩ mũtũrĩre ũrĩa ũikaraga. Ndarĩ wa mũtumia ũcio. What am I saying is this? Whether you're going to have a polygamous marriage or not a polygamous marriage, that is a personal decision. Tondũ hagĩkorwo Iburahĩmu ithe witũ wa wĩtĩkio nĩ marĩ na ngwatanĩro na Ngai, na Ngai akĩmũrathima, na Ngai akĩmũtua ithe wa wĩtĩkio, the father of many nations, and yet he was not having a single wife. He was a polygamous person. The same case happens to David, the same case with Solomon, and so many other examples that you can quote in the Bible. So this one tells us that the aspect of somebody having one or two wives, that one is personal decision. Despite what the Paul says, I'm not going against the Bible, mark you. I'm not going against what the Paul says, even if the Bible says that, even if we know that Paul was somebody who was very learned, and he was actually one of the most learned theologians that we can be able to see at that time in the Bible. For now, I don't know. tondu gutiri almost any doctor any maundu mothe ma kiwatho maria Paul atoĩ maria marĩ na kũhutania. So whether you are going to have a one wife or many wife, that one is personal decision. But remember, kiugo gĩkoragwo gĩkiuga atĩrĩrĩ, mũndũrũme nĩwe mũtwe wa mũciĩ, nake mũtumia rĩ is supposed to be subjected to the husband. No rĩu rĩ, mũndũrũme nake arĩ kĩongo kĩa mũciĩ rĩ, a make sure that mũtumia wake rĩ ndanatuĩka oppressed. So at the end of the day, these people have to work as a team. So hangĩkorwo nĩ gũthiĩ kũrehe mũtumia ũngĩ nĩ gĩkũrehe conflict harĩ mũtumia ũrĩa warĩ wa mbere rĩ, then why should I bring another wife? There is no reason for me to do that. But if there is a consensus, like for now we have seen, maybe let me, and I'm sorry to say that, may ngoro yake ĩrohurũka ũhoro. Somebody like Chirongo, we saw how the family is very united. I think so. Andũ acio me ũrũmwe kana andũ ta Aturi, the family is okay, na Ngai aromarathima nĩ ũndũ wa gũtuonia such kind of an example. Yeah? No rĩu rĩ, what I mean is, as long as indo iria ithatũ cia irio, no augire, he mũndũ augire anga nĩ Gathoni wa Mũcomba augire anga mũndũrũme anga nĩ indo ithatũ: mũhuko, mathiokore anga na maũndũ macio mangĩ ndiũĩ. So ko maũndũ macio nĩ ũkũhota gũkorwo wĩ sawa. Mũhuko wĩ sawa, nguvu ya kiuno iko sawa, na hiyo ingine ilikuwa nini? Sikumbuki hiyo nyingine ilikuwa nini. Na urume, kuruma, ushamba. Yeah? Kama iko sawa, that is good. No hangĩkorwo no amia biũ ndũkũhota gũ-coordinate atĩ ũkũrehe mũtumia wa kerĩ wa mbere arehe ngoma kana kũgĩe na crisis, ikara na ũcio ũmwe. Tondũ rĩu ningĩ wa mũdivorce ningĩ nĩ wauna watho. Tondũ Bibilia ĩrauga gũtikanagĩe na any kind of the breakage of the marriage. Andũ arĩa Ngai anyitithanĩtie gũtikanagĩe na mũndũ ũkama-separate. So ĩko wa gatatũ nĩ ũgatũma mwambie gũ-separate kana kũgĩe na crisis, then it is good as you not to have it. That is maybe the simplest way I can be able to do it. So it all depend with preferences cia mũndũ. Happy New Year, Beatrice. Sid, hi, Rose. John Mburu, hi. Like and subscribe, guys. Love biblical way. Yes, they multiplied women, but if you go to Bible, no polygamous children. No, if you think it in that direction, yeah. When you think of that, all the polygamous children has already suffered, then we must also now think of where the disease suffering comes from. Yeah? Let's take for instance, those people who suffered in the lineage of Abraham. Yeah? Now, we know kĩũndũ gĩkĩ kĩa andũ gũkorwo makĩgerera mathĩna-inĩ, it never started with the David and the Isaac and blah blah blah, the lineage. It started from somewhere. Yeah. Therefore, even if the bottom had a problem, or even if the kid had a problem, it is not a problem that they themselves generated. It came from them. It is a problem that they actually inherited from the top. So it is something which comes from the top, and actually it trickles down. It trickles down such that it is now reaching to other and that the third and the fourth generation. Just like how the Bible says that He's going to make sure that the fourth and the generations which are going to come, they are going to be affected by my own actions. So that way, I tend to think, and I want people to understand that I'm not a theologist. Therefore, kindly prove me wrong if I'm going to mess up, so that I don't find myself giving people contrary information. So I want to believe that if we had a problem at the top, it's like water. If water at the top is bad, then as it goes down the pipe, then that badness or that pollution is going actually to trickle down all the way. So even the consumers of that water, they are going to actually to have the impact. Not unless now you realize that, then you disconnect that water so that now you can put a good water in it. That's how I think of it. Therefore, there must be somewhere that problem started. So it is not actually the aspect of many wives comes in. It is actually a problem which already generated somewhere, and it is one which is actually trickling down. Because we already know even the people who had one wife. For instance, if we say that, what is going out to mean when it comes to Adam and Eve? We know Adam and Eve had two kids, Cain and Abel. Their kid had a problem. But in a real sense, Cain never had many wives. Yeah. No, 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 no. Adam never had many wives, but you find that the problem has already comes to them. So that is basically maybe how I to think about it. It is not basically about the wife, but basically it is all to do with the lineage that you are in. That is where the problem comes in. Welcome, welcome, Liz. Welcome, come on, boy. Yeah. That means if first wife says no, like Abraham, why do you push on and make the first wife cry like? I mean, I don't want to say that. I don't want to make any comment about that. It is also a problem of women because you cannot tell me as a man. Let's be realistic in this context. If I am a man and I come to that house, there is what we had already agreed on. Initially, we said this, and I think we said this. The moment a kid comes in between two people who are in love, the attention always diverts. You're going to find that the attention of the woman is going to divert from the woman to the man. The attention of woman to man. It is going to divert to the kid. Yeah? So we are going to have now a divided attention. So that's when the man's come. I know the Bible says, not the Bible, the culture says that the man should be the head. And also, it is the culture that agrees that we should share the responsibility. Therefore, at the end of the day, if I comes in and the first love which was there, I find out it has started now to become divided. It is you women who provokes us. It is the women who provokes men to go and now thinking of option two. Yeah. In this context, if initially you used to show love to me, wari mwega few ndaumĩra wĩra ngakora maũndũ mahoreru maũndũ mekuonana. Rĩu ningĩ ndacoka ndaumĩra wĩra, rĩu tuge rĩu twaikara rĩ, we nĩ woka nĩ wakora kĩrĩa watagĩtaga kũrĩ niĩ tikĩo wakora, tondũ wakora wonire mwanake mũrũngarũ, mwanake mwega, no rĩu woka wakora ũguo tiguo kũha. So at the end of the day rĩ, we wacenjia, all of a sudden wagarũrũka. So wagarũrũka rĩ, niĩ nani tondũ niĩ ndokĩte tu o nginyĩte kwenda kũgĩa na mũtumia na kũgĩa na that life. Then myself, I'm going to now to be forced now to think that now there is something else that has already gone astray in that home. Yeah? No, what I mean is this. For example, Nadiada Kuga, and I'm not saying that I am a chauvinist. Kindly allow me to use that one as a disclaimer. Hĩndĩ ĩrĩa twahikanagia rĩ, ndokaga ngakora indo nyũmba tũthambie gwĩ gũtheru gwĩ sawa. Arabu ningĩ rĩ, ndoka ndaruta nguo rĩ, madam no ũkũmenya ũrĩa nguo icio cikũhũrwo. Ngaheo tũmaĩ tũhiũ ngatwarĩrwo bafu. Ndatwarĩrwo bafu rĩ, ngĩhũra gĩcawa ngakora gĩtanda gĩkĩ arĩ na gĩkĩhũre maraci. Nona we nĩwanyonirie wendo biũ hĩndĩ ĩrĩa twekaga condition, ũngĩgũrũkia na wendo biũ. Ngĩona mũndũ nĩ worĩ, ngĩũria mũndũ, nĩũkwenda tũikaranie? Ĩĩ. Tũgĩũka kwanyu tũgĩkũgũra na tũgĩkũrehe mũciĩ gwakwa rĩ, woka gwakwa rĩ, Ngai atũteithie twagĩa na mwana. Twagĩa na mwana wa mbere, mwana wa kerĩ. Tũgĩthiĩ kũgĩa wa gatatũ rĩ, nĩwate mbaũ. Gwaikaikara rĩ, ndaumĩra wĩra rĩ, ngakũria madam kũhana atĩa ĩ, watinda atĩa? Wanyona ahana atĩa? Ũyũ nĩguo mambagia kũria mũndũ. Akũria kwĩna kĩrũma? Ona ithuĩ ndũĩ riko harĩa rĩrĩ. Nĩwona rĩu we nĩwambia kũrehe mbara tene na kũrĩa irio. Ndambia gũthiĩ gũkinyakinyĩra rĩ, ngaigua nĩndaikĩrio maĩ mahiũ. Inyuĩ nĩmuonire andũ me Nyĩrĩ ũrĩa mekirwo. Like for your case, na mũndũ ũcio rĩngĩ nĩarenda gũ make sure that marriage yake ndĩra break. So ta njĩra atĩrĩrĩ, in that case what will happen? Mũndũrũme ũcio egũtuĩka triggered. Either okage ainũkĩte mũrĩu, kana athiĩ acarie madam ũngĩ, kana wone mũthenya ũmwe tu agokĩra tu athiĩ na ndagacoka. Kanyoni gakwa iraithe. Hi Mkenya, yes, Agi. Men are the head and head can fix. Let me tell you something. Even the Bible says, ati mutumia mũũgĩ nĩwe wakaga nyũmba yake, nake mutumia kĩrimũ rĩ, amomoraga nyũmba yake na moko make. It is the responsibility, let me tell you, it is the responsibility of the woman to have his home, kana nyũmba yake ĩkorwo straight. Trust me you. The responsibility ya mutumia gũkorwo nyũmba yake ĩrũgamĩte. Mũndũrũme thĩna wake ũkoragwo wĩ rĩrĩ, angĩkorwo mũndũ brutal, ũcio nĩwe rĩu ũmoraga nyũmba yake. Na twanaigua cases nyingĩ biũ. Mũndũrũme ũcio ndarenda gũ take responsibility, ndarenda kũrora nyũmba yake, ndarenda, for example, ndaragũra gĩa kũrĩa, ndaragũra gĩa kũnyua, ndaragitĩra ciana ciake. No angĩkorwo nĩareka maũndũ macio mothe, it is the responsibility ya mũtumia gũtũma mũciĩ wake ũrũga. Yeah? That is how I think of a man. Na niĩ hau nĩho thĩna wakwa niĩ kwanja ũkoragwo. Tondũ hangĩkorwo niĩ mwenyewe ndũngĩhota gwĩka maũndũ macio mothe, it becomes very very hard. Tondũ mũndũ ũyũ agĩũka rĩ, rĩngĩ twathiĩ twacemania, rĩngĩ nĩndathiĩ nĩndathũkũma 200 300, ndathiĩ ndamũtwara mũkawa, twathiĩ twarĩa kanuku kidogo, ndacoka ndamũgũrĩra soda, ndamũhaimbia nduthi, ndamwĩra we theca kwanyu. Ningĩ mũthenya ũyũ ũngĩ taguo, ũguo yani gũikara ũguo. Then at the end of the day, maybe at the end of maybe 1 year, nĩthiaga rĩngĩ ngathũkũma ngona 5, ngamũikĩria 2, ngeka ũguo, ngamũikĩria 3, you know. Mũndũ ũcio rĩu agakorwo akĩ-expect atĩrĩ, atĩ Mũkenya rĩ, nĩ mũndũ wĩ kahiũ, arabu akona njamba nene, njamba ĩrũgamĩte na ĩrũgamĩte. Na rĩngĩ niĩ nĩ matumbĩ ndĩte nganora. Ũnona? Niĩ rĩngĩ ona ti ũgima wa mwĩrĩ, na ndikwenda kuga nĩkĩ gĩtũmi, yani I don't know how to expose my life. Rĩngĩ niĩ nĩ matumbĩ ndĩte nganora, kana ngakorwo ngĩrĩa ma-chance, ngathiĩ ngarĩa smokie ya ciringi 25. Ngacoka ngoka ngarĩa matumbĩ ngaikara thĩ. Ũnona? Rĩu we wandora rĩ, ũrona kĩmũndũ kĩnene kĩungĩte, you know. Rĩu hĩndĩ ĩrĩa ũgakorwo ũgĩũka rĩ, ũgakorwo expect atĩ Mũkenya nĩ mũndũ wĩna kahiũ, nĩ mũndũ ũrũgamĩte, nĩ mũndũ wĩtirĩtie. Ũgĩcoka gũka rĩ, ũrakora Mũkenya nĩ hasara. Rĩu ũkambagia kũ-develop. Rĩu ona kinya harĩa tũngĩkorwo twathiĩ nĩtwambĩrĩria mũtũrĩre, ũgakora rĩu mũtũrĩre ũcio nĩweka nĩwate mbaũ nĩwagũrũka. Ũguo nĩguo niĩ ngoragwo ngĩciria. No, they are not unfaithful. Yeah. YouTube iko. Soma rĩmbo Helen. Na nĩ andũ me wĩra. Ũngĩcoka na ũthiĩ YouTube ĩno this channel, ukirudi hapo nyuma utaona. Shiro in Auckland. Hi Mkenya, karibu. Our wife never disrespect a man if you are treating her. Kai, tia thikũ ici. Thikũ ici nĩ auru biũ. Tigacĩria itũ arĩa marĩ tene. Thikũ ici aca. Thikũ ici nĩ maratũhĩngĩca. How can a house be a home without a roof? Yeah, that is what I'm saying. That mũndũrũme rĩ, wĩra wake nĩ gwĩkĩra shield. Na nĩguo njugaga niĩ Ngai angĩkahe, ũrĩa Ngai akahe nĩ kũmũcover. I cover you with the money, I cover you with maybe something like bill. I cover you with the protection. Ciana iria Ngai aheire, woka gũthakĩra ciana ciaku ũkamenyaga atĩ ciana icio nĩ irĩ baba wao. Wathakĩra mũtumia wakwa ũkamenyaga mũtumia ũcio nĩ arĩ mũthuri. That is the work of a man. No rĩu hĩndĩ ĩrĩa twĩ gũkũ mũciĩ rĩ, nona hĩndĩ ĩrĩa twĩ gũkũ mũciĩ, nĩ ta rĩrĩ, nĩ ta gũkũ example ta kĩ, nĩ ta itumbĩ. Nona mũndũrũme rĩ ahana gĩkorogoca gĩa itumbĩ. Nona gĩkorogoca gĩa itumbĩ rĩrĩa gĩkoragwo kĩrigicĩirie mũruru na ikarigicĩria kĩrĩa gĩ thĩinĩ wa itumbĩ rĩu, the yolk. That is how it happens. No rĩu kũu thĩinĩ rĩ ndũngĩmenya what is happening between the yolk na kĩrĩa kĩu gĩtagwo atĩa kĩnyamũ kĩu kĩngĩ, kĩu kĩa white, kĩu kĩyolk kĩu kĩerũ, ndũngĩmenya what is happening. But already there is a shell which is covering it. That is how a marriage operates. Niĩ ngĩciria that is how it operates. We hĩndĩ ĩrĩa twĩ nja rĩ, niĩ mwenyewe nĩ ngavĩte. Mũtumia wakwa nĩ aronekana nĩ mũndũ decent, nĩ aronekana nĩ mũndũ well taken care of. Ciana ciakwa ciathiĩ cukuru citingatagwo. Wathakĩra ciana ciakwa nĩ ũkũmenya ciana icio nĩ irĩ baba wao. Wathakĩra mũtumia wakwa nĩ ũkũmenya mũtumia ũcio wakwa nĩ arĩ mũthuri. Wathakĩra property ciakwa na business ciakwa rĩ, kana iria mũtumia wakwa araruta rĩ, kana wathakĩra wĩra ũrĩa ciana ciakwa iraruta nĩ ũkũmenya ciana icio ciĩna baba wao. No hĩndĩ ĩrĩa tuoka nyũmba, tuoka nyũmba hĩndĩ ĩrĩa tũraikara rĩngĩ kũrĩa tũrarĩa rĩngĩ nĩ kũnyua, nĩguo the things which are going to make me to go and look for the resource to be able to do that. Hau rĩu nĩho thĩna ũingagĩrĩra. Tondũ ũkoraga mũndũrũme rĩ ndũramũ appreciate. Reke ngwĩre mũndũrũme nĩ mũndũ wa gũtuĩka appreciate. Ũngĩaga kũ appreciate mũndũrũme, it can't work. It can't work. Yani kũmũrecognize. Na nĩkĩo etagwo mũndũrũme. Mũndũrũme nĩ thau. Mũndũrũme nĩ thau. So it is good to have that covering. So you cover and then hĩndĩ ĩrĩa mwĩ thĩinĩ, hĩndĩ ĩrĩa mwĩ kũu thĩinĩ rĩ, hĩndĩ ĩrĩa mwĩ kũu nyũmba thĩinĩ, ndũramũima conjugal rights, ndũramũharass na kũmũhũra psychological war, ndũramũharass na gũtindaga wĩ TikTok kana ũkĩblog na hĩndĩ ĩmwe na mũndũrũme waku hau. You know, those are the things citũmaga tondũ mũndũrũme ekũrigwo atĩrĩ, mũtumia wakwa nĩ mwĩkĩrĩte cover, ciana ciakwa nĩ ndĩcimenyereire, but then ndarahe thayũ, ndainũka rĩ ndarahe thayũ, then ũkona ndawa njega, reke njarie gacungwa. Njikare ũguo ngagĩkania ndenda ta mũbĩa. Mũrauga atĩa? Nĩ atĩa mũrauga? Nĩ atĩa mũrauga gũkũ? Ngagĩkania ndenda. Aya, kwani uko na t-shirt? Niko na t-shirt ya YouTube. I've never displayed. How can a house be? How can a woman fix it if a man? It is women which makes men to be deadbeat. In most cases. Tondũ eko ũragĩũka ũgakora nginya conjugal rights hatirĩ rĩ, ũgakora nĩ ũgwĩka na rĩngĩ watinda ũkĩrĩa njũgũ karanga. Any woman disrespecting a man who treats her like this. That is it. Na reke ngwĩre andũ aingĩ arĩa, you just go and do a research. Anytime that you have a respectable mũtumia waku akorwo very respectable, there is high possibility no ũhote nginya kũ-tame your man even if he is aggressive. That is how maybe niĩ nyonaga tarĩ gũkoragwo. Ndiũĩ tondũ ndikĩrĩ ndakinya hau, no nyonaga ta gũkoragwo. Mũndũrũme mũtumia angĩkorwo e mũndũ tiga rĩu andũ no nĩ harĩ andũ a gĩthĩrani, rita rĩa andũ a gĩthĩrani, but a good number you can tame your husband if your wife is okay. Hi everyone. Karibu Virginia. We need to hear the nitishe Shira nitishe link nikupe link. Shira nitishe link. Nikupe and then tell us the woman side. Tell Shiru to come this side too. Dana wa Kenge. Hiyo sielewi kabisa. Umesema nini? Tell Shiru to come, hiyo sielewi. Itia link kwa Shiru. Go ahead, link. Shira, itia link. Because I believe marriage no hinya ya bukagia ndegeri ndara mana na mona Shiro igira by the emojire mkena Shiro ameingia mniambia cut off hinya ya bukagia ndegeri niguo mituragia rĩera-inĩ. So hangĩkorwo wendo ũrĩa tũkire tũkĩiguithanĩria nagia wendo ũcio wendo ũcio nĩgũka ũtuĩke ũthire, you feel it. If that love is going to reduce, then I want to believe that marriage will start now. The connection between a man and a woman is now going to start declining. For the reason being that whatever brought you to that marriage has to be sustained. And that is the courtship, and that's why the courtship is important. Yeah? It is only that now people have started misusing the courtship and they start now engaging into other things, in which now they end up now doing what the courtship is meant for. Yeah? What do I mean by that? Andũ mathiĩ courtship rĩ, wĩra wao ũkoragwo wĩ somebody is sending me a text. No, when it comes to courtship, somebody has texted me a text and I am not seeing it. So when people are in courtship, they are in courtship, but then at the end of the day, they are not doing what the courtship is meant for. So instead of them running from each other, not running for RUN, but running, you study one another, they end up doing things which are not relevant. So inyuĩ mũgacoka mũke engage harĩ kĩhiko, na kĩhiko gĩkĩ rĩ, at the end of the day rĩ, tondũ mwĩciria atĩ ũrĩa mũrĩikaraga courtship nĩguo mũgũcoka mwende, tondũ mũtiambire gũthoma na mũmenyane the characteristics. Niĩ ngũmenye the good part of you, nawe ũmenye the good part of me, menye the bad part of you, and you know the bad part of me. Yeah? Na mwaikara thĩ mũkaiguithania, mwaikara mũgacira mũkaiguithania mũkamenya atĩ ũũ nĩguo tũrenda mũtũrĩre tũikare. Then at the end of the day, ũgũkora the decision iria tũgũkorwo tũkĩmake, tondũ nĩtuoka nĩtwaikarania, cigũkorwo ci decision citegũkorwo cikĩ go hand in hand na the decision iria twakoragwo tũgĩbanga iria twĩkaga courtship. And that is a main problem iria tũkoragwo na the current society. The current society does not want to accept that courtship is important, tondũ hau nĩho rĩu mambagia kuga atĩ nĩ waganu andũ marĩ. To me, I believe, niĩ njĩtĩkĩtie atĩrĩrĩ, hĩndĩ ĩrĩa ngakorwo ndĩrenda kũhikania, I must first say no nginya nyambe njikare na madam ũcio for quite a good number of months, kana ona ĩkorwo nĩ mĩaka, depending na ũrĩa tũgakorwo tũiguithania, nĩguo nyambe menye ũru wake na menye wega amenye ũru wakwa na amenye wega wakwa. Tũtikanathiĩ twambie gwaka nyũmba ĩyo rĩ, ciana citũ cigacoka cikambagia cigacaba nĩũndũ wa mahĩtia matabatiĩ gũkorwo magĩka atĩa, kwĩna koira ĩratũma ngĩe na homa gũkũ. cigakorwo cigicafa nĩ ũndũ wa mahĩtia matabatiĩ gũkorwo makĩgerera. And that is the reason why courtship is important. I believe courtship is nĩ ya bata. Nĩmwanyita? Ngai no agatũteithia, mũthenya ũmwe no tũgatũria rũgendo ciacio tigana nacio kwenda kwambia kũrutwo nyũmba thaa ici gĩthomo tũcireke ciume nene, ciume nene. Nipe namba yako, wacha nikupe namba yangu. +254 ndiyo namba yangu. Ndũmĩra tu ka message hau ũnjĩre nĩ Rose ngũikĩrie link. Ndũmĩra ka message hau Rose ngũikĩrie link. Ndĩna kaũma mũtikamake nĩ gakoirwo njakirie gũkũ ũguo nĩko kararehe thĩna gũkũ. So that is how I look at marriage. Marriage is a union or a companion between two people, and that companion between those two people, they must agree. No nginya mambe ma agree. How are we going to live? How I must be able to understand. No nginya nyambe ngũmenye we, na no nginya wambe ũmenye niĩ. No nginya wambe ũmenye the good part of, no nginya nyambe menye the good part of you and the bad part of you, na no nginya wambe menye the good part of me and the bad part of me. That is the only way. Yeah? Leave alone nginya rĩngĩ ta mbia kana asset kana indo iria ingĩ ciũkorwo cio. Because those are ũtonga nĩ matigari ma nda. Ũtonga nĩ matigari ma nda. So there must be that understanding. There must be that understanding. And that is, na nĩkĩo nyonaga ihiko ici ciarĩ cia tene, nona ihiko ici ciarĩ cia tene, they were able to survive. Nĩ mahotaga gũ survive tondũ o nĩ mambaga kwamba kũ understand. You understand the person. Rĩu ihiko ici cirakorwo ici cia rĩu cia teke mũndũ ũrathiĩ ũgakora you have not survived. Ihiko cia rĩu nĩ cia thĩ. Na nĩkĩo niĩ ngiuga reke nyambe ndĩe mbia ciakwa, reke nyambe ndonga. Ndatonga ndarĩa indo ciakwa ndaigua ndahũna-ĩ nĩngacaria mũtumia hĩndĩ ĩyo. Thaa ici reke nyambe ndĩe indo ciakwa. Ndikwendaga gũkora thĩ nĩ ndewa. Mũndũ aikanagia ũgacoka ũgakora atumia acio nĩo moka gũkũrehera mathĩna. Mũndũ yaani gwacaira ambe ũrie nĩkĩo nĩmuona nginya mwanake ũyũ agĩte na kabi ũguo, mwanake agĩte na kabi. Tokorwo thaa ici ngĩrĩ karũbebe. Reke nyambe ndĩe ndarĩa ndahũna-rĩ, rĩu hĩndĩ ĩyo nĩngeciria kana nĩngũhikania kana ndikũhikania, kana ndige ta mũbĩa. Ndige ta mũbĩa kana njarie kana adopt. By the way nĩndĩciragia kũ adopt kana. Nĩkũ adopt kana, mũkorwo nĩ kũ adopt kana kamwe ga kahĩĩ. Ũhoro wa njingua ũhe kana baba, ũhe kahĩĩ. What's up? Ngakũrera atuĩke WhatsApp hiyo yenye nimekupea. Usikandike namba yako hapo because this is a public podium, lakini yangu iko WhatsApp iko public. Nakwambia ndĩ thĩna, no yaku ndũkandĩke ndũgathumbũrwo nĩ andũ. Iko na WhatsApp hiyo iko na WhatsApp. Nĩmwakĩigua andũ aitũ? Mũtangĩkorwo mũiguithanĩtie na mũtumia waku kana mũthuri waku. Na wendo ti cia na marriage has nothing to do with kids. Marriage has nothing to do with kids. It's okay, it's okay. Marriage is all to do with supporting each other in intimacy. Yeah? Kĩhiko kĩega rĩ na ngwatanĩro ĩrĩa njega rĩ ya mũthuri na mũtumia rĩ ti ciana. Yeah? So that is where also people make mistakes. I think so. People tend to think that tondũ ndũrĩ na ciana rĩ, then that is not a marriage. But what I believe in, ngwatanĩro ya mũthuri na mũtumia, that is ngwatanĩro ya mũthuri na mũtumia, that is what makes a good marriage. Hĩndĩ ĩrĩa mũthuri na mũtumia maiguithania, then they can be able to have a successful or a good marriage. Otherwise, kids should not come into play. Ciana nĩ product. Ciana nĩ product ya kĩhiko kĩega. But it is not a mandatory when it comes to kana nĩ njamba kana ndeto ciakwa ndĩraria gũkũ. Although the Bible says, and I'm not going against the Bible, the Bible says that mũthiĩ mũciare na mũihũrie thĩ. Mũthiĩ mũciare na mũihũrie thĩ. So it doesn't mean that therefore you have to be so we give a priority kids to become a priority. It is not. Yeah, it is true. It is true. Yeah, unaona mpaka Shira amekubali. It is not a must. It is not a must. Wathani ya mũthuri na mũtumia mwaiguithania mwakirikiri we niĩ endeleeni. Kĩheo nĩ muoyo. Kĩheo nĩ muoyo. Ibrahimu na Sara magĩire mwana mena mĩaka igana. Na ngwatanĩro yarĩ njega. And they had a marriage. So it is nothing to do with kids. No. Na remember ona Ibrahimu erĩtwo atĩ nĩũgatuĩka ithe wa rũrĩrĩ. Na akuire atatuĩkĩte na akuire atonete that many generation. The same happens to Isaac. So it is something all to do with the understanding. Niĩ ingĩ-understand mũtumia wakwa, Ngai ũrĩa mũtumia akahe akorwo arĩ mwega, then nake akorwo nĩ ekũnielewa, then tuna move on. Ngai agatigwo arĩ o Ngai. It's true. Kaba kwa Ngai andũ aitũ. Mũthĩ andũ mabarĩrwo ũguo, no uma kanitha ũmũthĩ kwanja, oke tũmũthekerere. Somebody was in church today. Tũmwakiuga andũ a Ngai. Arĩa mena ciana ci busy, ndĩraigua ciana rũciũ. Ithiĩ kuma rũciũ. Things might be very, very risky. Things might be very, very risky. So niĩ ndĩramũhoera thayũ mwega wa Ngai ya Ngai. So as I said there before, now mwahota kuona ngĩaga gũka live so many times tondũ most of the time I want to concentrate on Safari. So I'll be downloading so many movies, so many documentaries cia safaris because that is what I want to concentrate on. Maybe I might be coming maybe once a week or maybe twice a week, but in most cases I'll be concentrating on videos, the safari. So that is what I'll be doing most of the time. Or maybe if I'll be live, I'll be coming live, but not to talk, but just to show you the environment that I will be in. Starting from this month, I'm targeting several areas here in Nairobi. So it's a surprise. I'm not going to disclose where, but it's a nice place. So I'm still putting things in order. Yeah. So I'm still putting things in order. Send. Send you. Let me send you. Dawiki diari, nimekurushia link. Nimekurushia link. I've sent you the link. Close. Just click that link. Then it will accept on this end. Click, then accept, then join. Then I'm going to see it on this end. Then I'm going to accept. Jane, karibu.
Kona
Karibu, karibu.
kama ni
Eh?
Mkenya
Mzuri sana, mzuri sana.
lazima mwana nira mutire mwega mundu kira jitagwo Muthoni.
Karibu sana Rose. Muthoni.
Yeah, so you guys are doing very good job,
Uh-huh.
and with Shiro actually, and
Thank
not even I apologize for Shiro because there was a day she attacked Virginia because I was one of the major person contribution yake ya Virginia Kamotho.
you.
Na I was there wakiwa na Farodhi, whatever, I was the bit, whatever. And then when she attacked Virginia,
Mhm.
mpaka nikam-unsubscribe. And
Sure.
I apologize for her because you know what, she was telling the truth, and I'm so sorry, and God forgive me for that. Hata
Uh-huh.
yani, and forgive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So okay, nimesikia umeongea mambo ya marriage,
Uh-huh.
and I think you guys you are going way out of God ways.
Why? Why?
Because wacha tukwambie, you just went with very well about how God created Adam and Eve. Sindio?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think God was stupid whenever he made Adam and Eve? Mbona
No, it
kwamba anaongeza Jerry mashiko whatever. He just built that.
uh-huh.
But because the sin that Adam and Eve did, people started making their own decision or whatever they can make.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing about, you know what, we have gay. Gay is not there, but there's some people who are trying to make that gayism is okay. But you know
Mm-hmm.
what? And my friends, trust me, they believe in it and they believe it's godly.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So one thing, I want every family they're polygamous. I want to see any child there's no suffering. Nataka mtu mmoja tu aseme tu moja tu, hata wa matajiri mabilionea.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I'll save my points. Hakuna polygamous watoto, yani hata watoto ama wabibi wako happy
Mm-hmm.
because maybe I never came from polygamous family, but my husband is from polygamous family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I see they're suffering. They have
Mm-hmm.
suffered.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
So,
so
so
even if God let it to do, ni kama vile tu nafanyaga tu makosa. It's the way we do the mistakes. It's the way we do the wrong things, and we thinking that you know what, because we are doing it because we think God is, but you are forgetting that God, we have gods. There are so many gods.
mm-hmm.
We have to know which God we are asking for.
I agree, I agree, I agree.
Then you talk about the Abraham, Abraham, and whatever, and Nanini, because of the lack of faith. But her husband had the faith. Ndio mpaka hata sasa akienda kusacrifice Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
hakuambia bibi yake, kwa sababu angeambia bibi yake angemwambia nini?
So
Huwezi
can I give you an example? Like for now, you saw the so, and I'm sorry to say that because he is now the deceased, the Jirongos family.
listen to me. Can you see the drama?
No, no, we are talking of now when the man was
No,
there.
I'm talking about the Jirogos family. Do you see the drama right now?
when the man was there, it was okay. But now the drama has started when the man has vacated.
It wasn't okay. It's not just because now he's dead. It wasn't okay. If you can ask that family, it wasn't okay. It's just right now. It's just exposing himself because he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because he's dead. If you
So so
can be, if you can bring Jirongo's family, nobody was happy with that family.
in other words, having a polygamous marriage is not biblical.
It's not biblical. It's because you see King Solomon married. Go to the Bible of King Solomon. After he passed away, he said all is vanity.
Yeah, but you see, when he's talk of when he talk of the vanity here, he's talking of the material assets, the material items, not about.
Even women too, because he went with so many women.
But what of we think of somebody like David? David, David,
King
David.
Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you for comparing because I thought you said about the King David. Go back to the Bible of King David. Actually, go back to the Bible.
Uh-huh.
Whenever King David did that, whatever he did with the was it what was the name?
Bathsheba,
Bathsheba.
Bathsheba,
Bathsheba.
Bathsheba.
And akapata son.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what God did to him?
No,
He
but
killed his son. He killed his son.
no, you see, but you see now
Do you know
the reason. The,
why he did not kill the children from the first wife, and he killed the from the second wife?
the reason
He was
the reason
trying to teach you guys, you know what? Do not stop doing whatever is because it's evil.
But you see, the reason why the firstborn of the Bathsheba was killed, it is because now God wanted to bring an avenge because of what David did by killing Uriah.
Now,
Not really because of
you
polygamy issue.
talking about because of of the son, because you know what he killed because he got evil. After that,
Uh-huh.
let me tell you, God told him, "You can never build my church."
Because of the killings that David did.
Not even the killing. It's because of whatever he did.
Le-
Infidelity,
le-
the adultery he committed. He
le-
committed adultery, number one. Let me tell you one thing. The
uh-huh,
only thing that is gonna put people in heaven
uh-huh,
is that Ten Commandment. You see that Ten Commandment?
uh-huh.
That Ten Commandment is gonna put people to heaven.
Mhm. Le-
And if you disagree with any of those Ten Commandments, I am telling you, and I thank God because when you go to the Moses, how when he crashed the Ten Commandments, after he crashed the Ten Commandments, God, they said you gonna songrat them, you gonna shape them the way I made them, and he
Mhm,
stayed there because you know what he was fighting for the Israel's kids,
mhm.
and he did that.
So
But
so
if you go there, Moses never had a second wife. The brother never had the second wife.
mhm,
Joseph himself he never had a second wife. But if you see the community that they came with a second wife, I want to tell me the children that were happy in the Bible. Tell me one. Tell me
so so
one.
so maybe ask, yeah, between the old covenant and the new covenant, which one now should we follow? Should we follow the old covenant or the new covenant? Because now if you go by the old covenant, the
Even the
the
new,
old covenant.
even the new covenant. Like, let me tell you, even the new covenant. God, Jesus himself, he never came to change the covenant. He said he came to fulfill them.
Uh-huh.
He came to fulfill them. So the old whatever the old covenant. Wacha nikwambie, kwani revelation iko wapi? Revelation iko kwa new ama old?
You go God New Testament.
Revelation.
Revelation is in the New Testament. The last book of the New Testament, because it was written by John, and John was a disciple of Christ.
Yeah. Hiyo revelation hii unafikiri ita change?
No, that one won't change. That one won't change.
So why are the people changing the convention that you telling me that because you know what? Now what nikuambie, in the marriage people they have to be very whatever because let me tell you, marriage is a covenant in between a husband and wife
Mhm,
and God. Whoever is in between a husband and wife is God.
mhm,
And whoever tried to enter there like a second wife na bibi hata huyu bibi akufurahii. I'm telling you, God is gonna punish you for it.
Now,
God is gonna punish you.
now, what about? Let me ask you this. Now, what if now I get married to a certain wife, and then this wife becomes now an impediment of me to worship? Now, what should happen in that case?
What?
Now,
Can you repeat?
if for instance I have a wife, I have already
Mm,
married a wife,
mm,
and that wife now becomes an impediment of me to have a something like the peace of me to worship God, or maybe to do the will of God,
mm,
or maybe at the home I am not able to fulfill my commitments as the head
mm,
of that home because of the presence of that wife. What should I
mm.
happen in that case?
You pray together as a wife. You hold each other together and seek God and ask God, you know what? God, we are failing. Where can we be? And God is going to intervene quickly, not
Really?
run away. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Because if God is innate, I am telling you, you're not supposed to be going with the emotions.
Yeah.
Marriage is not about emotions. Marriage, when things get crazy,
Uh-huh.
call each other, talk to God, and God is good. He's always. And I'm telling you because I've been married for
I know.
long.
I know. But this
Na
generation can
mlima
this
nimeona
generation.
na mlima wenu wa Mkenya, yani mlima Mkenya mpaka yani amehanya east west north south.
Yeah. Lakini lakini
Yeah.
Wakenya, lakini ladies nowadays they are the impediment of having a successful marriage. Nowadays, the generation that we have today, even like for now, for my case, if maybe I give you an example, for my case, the reason why I am not married to date, it is because of how I went through, of what I went through because of her. Huh? So sometimes it is women who made us to be who we are. Or and even sometimes when I visit
Mkenya, now you are making men look so weak. You're making men to look so weak. You're making men to look so weak because you know what?
uh-huh,
If you go back to the Bible, I'm
uh-huh.
not good with Bible, but I can quote verses.
Yeah, it's okay. You just told it.
Where God has said, you know what? A man will leave their mother and father and cleave to his wife.
Uh-huh.
In Hebrew, to cleave is you are going to chase your wife. You're gonna be running after her.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is us women, we have become so weak that we are chasing you instead of us chasing you, instead of you chasing us.
Yeah. but this
Men have become so comfortable
uh-huh.
that you know what, oh, we can have a woman because if my wife is giving me crap, I can go to this woman because you know what, you have a side chick who is taking care of you or who is giving you the benefit, but you're gonna go to hell. I'm telling you, every man is doing that's gonna ban because a man is supposed to stick with his wife no matter what, no bad whatever it is supposed to be there.
Hmm.
And I'm telling you, that's why men they're dying young, and you're leaving your women, and they're gonna be remarried. We're gonna secure remarrying. We don't care. Number two, women has to take care of themselves too,
Mm-hmm.
especially the married women. The married, the good wife women, they have to take care of themselves. If you see your husband is cheating, don't open your legs. Don't sleep with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let them complain that you know what, my wife doesn't give. Yes, I don't give you because you're sleeping around there. Because, why should you come to sleep with me and it bring me diseases?
But you
Why?
see, the problem start already at the home, because how I understand the marriage operates. Me as a husband, me as a husband, I'm supposed to be the shield. I'm supposed to cover. I'm supposed to be the overhead. I'm supposed to be overall. So that's why that now you as a somebody, maybe you as a wife, you're supposed to be now to be provided, to be covered, so that if somebody comes and play with my wife, already that person is going to understand that this wife has as husband, or maybe these kids has a father. So it is at that point when now I am covering, or when I'm offering some kind of the shield, then that woman now start now bringing some kind of intervention which are not going now to be giving me the opportunity to do that covering. For instance, if we consider something like an egg, how I was giving an example, an egg has something we call the yolk inside it. And in that yolk, it has some kind of the embryo and the soil and so on and so on. So me, myself, as a husband, I'm the shell. But the inside, there is something we call the yolk and the embryo and those and so on. Whatever is inside. If whatever is inside is not going to be coordinating well, even the shell is not going to be able to sustain itself. So it is the responsibility. It is the responsibility of the woman to make sure that the husband is able to have the right characteristics to cover. For instance, if I can be able to provide maybe the bills of the house, the food for the house, and maybe the all the expenses for the house, then it is the responsibility of the woman to make sure that I'm comfortable, I'm getting my conjugal rights, I'm moving, I'm healthy, I am clean, I'm getting all the necessities.
If
Uh,
you are doing all that, if you're doing all that, women are not crazy. If you're doing all that, and then all of
but
a sudden you're doing all that, and then you can do all that, but if you're going there and compensating your woman there because you're feeding her, because you're doing this, and you're cheating on her, what you be Kenya? And I want you to do the research from today.
uh,
There is no marriage family they fight because of money, because of the poverty, because of what the people they fight is because one is cheating on one another. Either it's a wife or a man. Period. And number one, you talked about the shell. Let me tell you, a man is supposed to be the priest of the house.
mhm,
Do you know what the priest is? Or a pastor?
yes,
A pastor is the one who nurtures the kid, or whatever the kondoo wamepotea. Unaona?
yeah.
So as a priest in the house, ukiona bibi yako anapotea, si kwenda unaenda huko kwanya, ni wewe tu unamwombea hapo na unamrudisha na kuwa hapo, anakuwa chojo.
Mhm.
It's not about whatever. Because I'm telling you, I know a man is the one who makes, he is the one who break the house, not a woman.
Really?
Because what? Yes, ni kama kanisa, kama huyu shiro wetu anaongea, huyu shiro wa Auckland vile
Mhm.
anasema pastor, maprista, whatever, vile wananyang'anya watu pesa. Bwana ni kama hivyo tu. Bwana ni kama hiyo kondoo hiyo, yani wako huko, lakini baadaye, yani bibi ana invest, anakuzalia na kufanyia, lakini baadaye wewe kuwa pesa wa nyumba, kumwombea umrudishe, wewe unapotea tu, unafanya usherati kwa mahali pengine. It's like that.
Huh?
Yes.
Maybe I'm the one who has not done so much things to do with the family, but that is basically how I understand the marriage operates. That the man should be the overall, such that at the end of the day, it is the responsibility of the woman to go and incubate whatever the man brings, so that that house can be able to
Who
be
told you? If it was like a woman, why was woman not called in the Bible to be a priest in the house?
no. I mean, you see, when we are talking of a priest is the overall.
Ile kavasi inasemanga ati mwanamke ndiye hujenga nyumba yake na ndiye hubomoa. Hapana, madani ile nyingine nani anabomoanga nyumba, si mwanaume, si mwanamke, ninyi wanaume. Kuna vile unaweza, wacha nikwambie, I wish I was given to be a head, not a
Uh-huh.
neck.
Uh-huh.
Juu unajua nyinyi ndio wanaume ndio mnaona kichwa ni kuona, mnaona ndio mko na akili, mko na masikio, mapua, everywhere. Sisi
Yeah.
ni chini tu, tunaweza kusema mtagwa, lakini mkisema mtaona.
Mhm.
So
But
hii bullshit ya Wakenya wanasema hii mambo ya nini bullshit, ati bibi amekusema, kwa sababu ninaonanga vitu kwa YouTube wanasema, you know what, I left because she's always talking, she's always making us, you know what, then you are fake priest. Wewe ni kama fake mapasta, wala
now,
wanapayuka pale tu, lakini huwezi kusaidia mpaka nyumba yako, huwezi kusaidia bibi yako, na Mungu ameuba mkuwa mapriest. Nyinyi mnasema
how,
sisi wanawake tuliumbwa kupayuka. And I'm telling you I can give you for free. We were given that to talk. We are going to whatever. But a good man, kwa sababu nimeona wanaume ni wazungu, si Afrika, si Afrika. I'm talking about the white people. The
Yeah.
white people, bibi unaweza kumpigia mpaka mshikashike hivi, anakuangalia hivi, anakwambia oh han, what is going on, you know, kwa sababu naye, kwa sababu ameongea hivyo, mpaka Mungu yeye mwenyewe anaongea kwa bibi yake, anampatia peace, mpaka bibi yake anaanza kumulilia, anampigia magoti, I'm so sorry. Lakini nyinyi badala ya kupiga sorry ni kupiga, mnapiga makofi for nothing. Mungu atabariki nini? When is gonna bless? When is gonna God bless this watu wa Afrika? Watu wa Afrika wako chini sana, by the way.
How
I'm
how
sorry.
about how about this? Most of the people who in the Bible happen to do a sin, they were sinning out of what the woman drives them to do. For instance, let us take for example the first person who was the wisest person, that is Solomon, was confused by women. If you talk of somebody like David, he sins because of women. When you talk of the Samson also sinned because of women. Yeah. So what is these things that is even making men to become
Did
sinners?
I tell you from the beginning? The beginning is no Solomon. It's no Samson. I told you the beginning is from where? Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Where God created a man and a woman, not a man and women.
Yeah.
A man and a woman, not women.
Just as you proceed, just 1 second. I attend somebody. Just 1 second. Just proceed. Proceed.
A man, sorry, a man and a woman, not a man and women. But because they sinned in that Eden, that's why you guys became those polygamous. And you jinga too. Nataka that I want somebody to come out on the air and niambia what a polygamous, how they can be happy. They have been happy. Nobody. But for me, because me, I came from a single father and whatever, and I know I am happy myself. I don't have anything to fight there, for whatever I don't, you know. So you guys, you have to go with the biblical way. Just because there was King Solomon, how Kenyans tell you Kenyans. So, by the way, mjue hata wa Kenya na nataka kuambia hata sikuwa najua. I was going through the Bible. Nikajua kumbe hata nilikuwa nimeandika kwa Shiro Wakland. Sikuwa najua Mugumo Mungu aliitukana. Nikaenda kwa Biblia. Ni kweli Mugumo na Mugumo imejaa Kenya. Kumbe huko kwenyu ni Sodom and Gomorrah, by the way. Na we are just bring the tree. And then one thing, wacha nikwambie. American people with everybody who is in America, they have to wake up their mind, their intelligence. Because tumekuwa kama yani, we are like people. Unajua then the time Moses was alikuwa anavukisha watu nini Red Sea. Lakini kuna watu wale walivukwa pale, lakini walikuwa wanaambia Moses, watafadhali huko Misri, tuende huko tuteseke, tukufie huko before tukue huku. Sasa bwana walikuja Amerika na wako na hiyo wakelea. Wacha nikwambie the same thing. Watu wache kuangalia nyuma. We left Misri, we are here. Watu wa Misri wakaya Misri na ule anakuja hapa jam. Because you know what, when God give you a land, unless ulikuja hapa kwa ugaidi. Unajua mimi sikuja ugaidi. Mimi like me, I was sent here. I came here. So and even my son, actually my son passed away in this country. So by the way, I was moving to Kenya. Do you know even God has to kill my son to show me that, you know what, I'm gonna kill your son because you're not living this country. Yeah.
But you see,
So
but you see,
people they're fighting so much instead of doing well and thinking about growing in happiness and doing better, they're thinking, you know what, I'm gonna jiggle. Do you know how many people they have built from here? They have built in Kenya, and they're dying here, and they're coming back in caskets without even seeing their homes.
Yeah.
Ukibarikiwa, just thank God.
Yeah, sure.
And that's why unajua nimesikia Shiro sana by the way. I love her. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not
She's
gonna
very
lie.
so what is the conclusion of the matter? Now should therefore the men should not trust their women, or what should have, like for now, what can you advise now us who are not married? We should think of courtship. How do you view
The
courtship,
one
by the way? How do you view
the
courtship?
one who is not married.
Mhm.
Let me tell you, because I know God does answer prayers. Let me tell you the
Uh-huh.
truth.
Uh-huh.
And marriage is not easy. It doesn't
Uh-huh.
mean because you're gonna get somebody like good person, and you are a good person. It doesn't mean you're not gonna be, fighting. You will. I'm
Mhm.
telling you. That's why we wear this ring. This ring, you know what this ring means?
You're married.
And no, it doesn't mean you are married. You see this ring?
Yes.
It means when you become one, you cannot get out of this. You'll be always going round and round and round. You're gonna fight, you come back, you're gonna fight. That's why it doesn't have corners. It's not about marriage. This is not about marriage. This is just when you keep on going round and round and round. Even if you fight, no matter what, but the only thing to stop fighting is by prayers.
Now,
And
what of
when the husband, when the woman, because women we are the highest one actually. You see, don't na ubaya.
Mhm.
As a priest akae chini tu, hata kama kwa sababu utaongea mwanamume lazima ajulikane nyumba, lazima hata kama utagoga siku kama mwanamke ugoge ukuta ngumi,
Mhm.
tunajua tutasikia tu, lakini mwanaume asimame kwa nyumba yake, apende mwanamke wake na mpende kabisa, hata kama ni nini anamshikilia kabisa. Si
Lakini
wacha nikwambia another thing. Kukimbia hii mambo, wanaume wanakimbia wanatafuta mauku, nakwambia ni hasara tupu,
Mhm.
hasara tupu. Hata mwanamke ule mwanamke anatoka nje ya ndoa, huyo hata ni mbaya kabisa kabisa. Let me tell you.
Mhm.
Sorry, somebody was calling.
It's okay, it's okay. Umehang.
I'm not it's a beauty.
Mhm.
Na nakwambia marriage si atukae hapa tukiingia hapa na tena the reason why marriage is failing nowadays, people they're just getting married. Hakuna watu wana cancel. Nobody's canceling them. Hakuna mtu anakuambia atukiingia kwa doa ujue, kwa sababu wanaume is the first one. Mwanaume wako ni unajua anaweza kwenda pale aone kama macho ingine na ingie huko na jari, lakini akiingia wewe usijali, wewe kuja tu umpige, lakini mrudiane, kwa sababu you know lakini isi repetitive once, ikirudia pili ya tatu, sasa hata ukitoka wacha kuja kwenye na buzi akuchukue na buzi akupe adabu.
Now, do you believe in courtship? Is courtship biblical?
Courtship, it's good, but no, so long as no sex involved.
So what should entail courtship?
A courtship is that the way you're just talking to each other, giving a deal, but no sex, no covenant of sex involved.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it is allowed. It is allowable. So when people are in courtship, in other words, they should be able to study one another. They should be able to see the characteristics of each other, as long as it does not involve the intimacy.
Intimacy, because intimacy is the something that God have spoken, if has spoken, even on the Ten Commandments.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, no, maybe I may ask. Now, what if now the woman now in this case becomes an impediment of success in a marriage? Not
Become
necessarily not a woman now becomes an impediment for successful marriage. Not necessarily being uh, uh, untrustworthy, yani ana cheat, lakini ameleta. Unajua, there are some women who are just made naturally violent. Hawataki, they don't want peace in their homes. What would happen in that case, in that one? Like for now, unakuja nyumbani unakuta bibi yako ako so yani hataki anything, yani ako tu sumbua. You know there are some women who are like that. What should happen?
Let me tell you, women, they are not sumbua. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
women will be sumbua because of one thing. Because if the husband is stressing that woman,
Really?
a woman who trust me, nurture that woman, and the woman will never sumbua.
Yeah, there are several. There are some others. Actually, I can show you.
Because you know what? Let me tell you, even when you plant the whole, the whole acre, you have the rotten fruits somewhere.
Eh? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking of. There is that.
The rotten ones, you know, the rotten ones, you know what? To be honest with you, why you, if you know biblical and you have God, why you involved with the rotten ones? You cannot marry a rotten one if you believe in God.
How can I know? How can I be able to know? Like for now, how can I be able to know the best one?
How can you ask that question? If you believe in God and you trust God, how can you go to Mother than you?
No, I mean, most of them mako mekirite riri ni amera gwati ni hitigagira rwaro mburi. Nowadays in Kenya ni ndwa andu gukorwo, I think they are not sensitive.
Kenya.
Yeah.
Ndikimekera rwaro mburi. Ona ndikikaikio ni rwaro mburi. No rwaro mburi tori urahikia ndeke mburi ati rugaria ma ndeke nguri atiriri. Rwaro mburi ni rwaro mburi rukorwo mire Ngai. Njuria mbere ni rwaro rukorwo mire Ngai.
No, thino turaikara na ici ri. Andu ni mambirie gutuika yani iguru yani people andu matiri uria maronania. Tero for example no mu Kenya ukona mundu urugamite, mundu mwega, no ndaritia kuruta nguo ici ugakora ni mundu wina irema. Nona tondu nguo no ni irahumbira kiria gi thiini.
Wendo kire faith, wendo wenda wete ndukona wetekio. Niona ni ndekagwo ni ndi mundu ndingirugama ha. Do you know ni ndirugama kinya kuri andu in the community. Before ngikira community go jitete hoeta Ngai wakwa na ngikirwo ni gukwira kiundu giki ndio yani njigua kinya kiundu ngaigua fiu kireva. Ona ndingirigiriria njuga ndaikara uguo na by force no nguona kiria ngwendaga kuona. No, let me tell you, uti kindu kingi itikira Ngai na muhoe Ngai muno.
No ni hari andu makorwo maigite at least ni hari andu Ngai athiaga agatwara maundu macio tondu I don't know how it operates. Like for instance, hena mundu werirwo atiriri ni Hosea kana werirwo ni kana ni Hosea werirwo atia ati ukaikie mumaraya. Nona?
No aikete mumaraya no mumaraya ucio agicoka ningi akiura muci akiura agithie gwikwo nja akiuga ni amutiga ringi Ngai akimwira no kumuikia ringi no ni agukuherera. Yeah. No hatikiri na thina ucio wothe. Yeah, nikigwira maundu mothe nituikare kuri Ngai. Seriously. Yeah.
It's the foundation is Christ.
There is nothing, even in the business, even with the children, even whatever. There's no foundation we can make without God.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Na kiambia kigani kiria kigiriirwo mbere ya Ngai.
Niko wapi? Hebu acha kunisumbua ama nikupiga kofi.
Sio napigia kofi nini?
Oya.
Yeah. See, I'm busy right now.
Okay.
So you sit down first.
Okay.
So kiambia kigani kiria gigukiambanirio na Ngai, andu makambaniria na Ngai. And then as the week goes on, you let God to take over.
Naweza kuwa na
one of our friends from Kenya juzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenya juzi. Ndio ajitara idije yake. Ona ndio kazi wa kazi moya abodera wira.
No ne teithia haria kumuteithia ri nyu teithia tondu
ndio teithia ni nda kwa andu aria ndeithite kuma aruthe moka Kenya Texas ngai ni yoi yeti ona ndira kugana ngai ni yoi
Nĩguo ũcarie ona niĩ nyone kana nĩ ũkũndeithia. Nĩwonya marĩa nyuma.
ndina njamba nene haĩ gwĩtwo Wanjirũ koguo tũgũteithia ndĩ haha ndĩmona nĩ gũgũteithia
Hatirĩ ũndũ ũngĩ, hatirĩ ũndũ ũngĩ.
ndĩra meiga ndĩrarĩ kũrĩa kwa Betty Bayo kũrĩa ikara
Ira. Kũrĩa mamuao warĩ?
kũrĩa Hira maikaraga ũrĩa Hira maikaraga
Mahana atĩa no wega?
ndararĩ kuo no meire ndararĩ kuo rĩu no kũrarĩ na roommate yake nĩkuo tũrathiĩte
Nĩ wega hau, nĩ wega hau, nĩngũgũcaria toko. Ndaigua kiugo nĩ ũrikĩire.
reke tũikare thĩinĩ wa Ngai na ona Wanjirũ ndĩramũhoera tamaka ndĩmũhoyagĩra tondũ wa kĩndũ kĩmwe nĩ mũndũ Ngai mũrathimĩte mũno na mũikĩtie kiugo kĩnene mũno no ndirĩ ndaingĩra ũhoro wa politician mũno nĩkĩ kũrĩ Ngai ũreka kũrĩ Ngai atige kũingĩra na politician aikare ũrĩa aikarĩte ndĩrakwenda Wanjirũ nĩ gũthiĩ baa nĩguo nĩ ma politician ndĩrakwenda maka ndĩrakwenda na ndikwenda kona thĩna tondũ she's wonderful. She has done a wonderful thing.
Na kũihũra andũ aingĩ.
Kũrĩ mũndũ ũramũhũraga the other day tũikarĩte nake nĩ mũndũ mũnene mũno mũno gũkũ Texas mũndũ mũnene na ndingĩ mũnene aramũhũra ndĩramwĩra you know what ti kũmũhũra because she's talking the truth.
Exactly. Ningĩ ona nĩguo njuga atĩ reka biũ no igua biũ nĩ aragũte marĩ ndwehere mbere yake kana wambe gwĩka ũrĩa kwagĩrĩire tondũ nĩwamenya already weka ũru rĩ nĩ ũgũtuĩka exposed na andũ no mekwaria ndeto ciaku. Tarĩu for example like Kenya nowadays
ndĩmũrehe mapasta ma Dallas na andũ arĩa ndĩmandĩkĩtwo na andũ arĩa menda kumĩra mauna mau borothe yani andũ nginya ndĩmũrehere andũ a Dallas tondũ andũ nĩ matige gũtake advantage of other people.
Yeni.
And teithia no tiga gũteithia ũgĩtĩkaga kĩrĩa kwanza kwa indo cia thĩni is very wrong.
For example like today now umuthi as we speak there is already a case going on between the so-called mighty na kĩama kĩa MPCDU tondũ wa maheni marĩa akoretwo akĩhena unaona so already Ngai nĩambĩtie kwĩyonania tondũ nĩ kwambĩtie kuonekana atĩrĩ these people have already started doing whatever is waganu wao wambia gũtuĩka exposed nĩ Ngai. So whatever Shiro has been talking about rĩu ona ti oreka thaa ici rĩu nĩ another group of people we have
pale uko
imeisha tu hivyo tu.
hebu Mkenya Ngai we unajua niko live wacha kunisumbua.
Sorry. Wanaongea nikio kimakisukwabo
Mkenya nikegure andũ a Kenya marĩ gũka gũkũ nikegwire no maragia they don't know we have time, they don't know we are talking seriousness, they just wanna just interfere. Sorry to interrupt it. Okay, shock accurate kwata
nĩguo kugaga atĩrĩrĩ ona yani rĩu maũndũ marĩa Shiro arekoretwo akiuga rĩ rĩu Ngai already Ngai nĩacagũrĩte another team ĩra back up wĩra ũrĩa akoretwo akĩruta. Like for example now kĩama kĩa MPCD kĩu kĩama gĩkĩ kĩa mandagĩtarĩ rĩ rĩu nĩkĩo kĩrabaitĩra kũ justify ũrĩa Shiro akoretwo atĩ andũ aya nĩ mĩkora makoretwo magĩtũhenia na ũhoro wa ciama. Ũmũthĩ erĩtwo arerwo I justify how he healed people.
How mũndũ arathondekagĩrwo Europe ndangĩũĩ story icio cia Europe
arerwo justify ĩnderauga atĩ nĩarahonanirie
kĩgũrũ kĩgĩ kĩamwĩraga atĩ arĩmeaga na kanua rĩ kĩgũrũ kanua mandaturia marungira ngai muothe to ni njigua to njike no nyendete muno ndenda mundu mwe akamia na kanua we mwenyewe akamia na kanua iyo merio aria tondu ngai baba no menya Wanjiru na kihoto ni amenya ni kihoto baba ndeko akamia na kanua nigetha atangazwo ona ria araja homa ho uguo ri no me ringe andu mangire ati angia kurwa ndamuria homa roretwo Amerika ngima watu aje ujinga na gutiatutiro ano twiraga mundu akarionita whatever no ndakarora Wanjiru gutura muoyo for a long time no ndakagira politician aikarite ngai muteithie ari aikarite
ona bare yo mekoretwo akiruta thaa ici riu ni andu angi maramurwirira because Ngai already ni ambitie kwiyonania Ngai already ni ambitie kwiyonania ati the ministry ria ambiririe thiini wa Wanjiru already that one is God who planted it in na yeye kwake, and that's why there are some other people who are start now backing up wiro yakoretwo akiru
Virginia don't got a very big impact ya Virginia by the way. And I remember yani hitu aliyoone because I remember I texted I ndamadikira ura mundu akomputaga ona yo hone thome home oni ndwari thino ari twari Jesu ni wega neke turorage neke tukamenya turi aro neke tukamenya turi na hinya nigetha ngoma kahotagwo tukoga thank you Ngai tukamenya turi no me no oigikara comfortable muno ri ndungimenya Ngai yoko neke tukaria go nenda tukamenya muri turi na mwiri tutiana ta Ngai
niguo
niu koguo neke ngwire nike arute wira ucio araruta na Ngai amureteithe muno na Ngai amurathime na ni ndimunyitite biu na kinya na Ngai ngera Ngai mwathani na ndagacenjie na ikari uguo ta maka neke ngwire tondu me I want to do that long time ago twena group itu nayo no die neke ngwire because it was not my time, it's her time. Maybe I cannot feel bad, I cannot be jealous of her. I want whatever she's doing the good thing.
No, she's going to move fast. She's going to because that is
nyumba yake neke ngwire yani alikana nipata mfalme
exactly moya maria hoirwo ni andu na uria ikoragwo anyitirirwo ri
yes
there is so much ahead of her. There is so much ahead of her. Aruta wira wa Ngai ucio ni wira wa Ngai
yes
muhoyagira muno inyuĩ mwĩ diaspora tumuhoyagira muno Ngai witũ turia mugitirite na turia mwikite wega na wa Ngai ukoragwo murigicĩirie
twagĩrĩire tondu reke ngwe magĩrio matukoragwo no me reke ndacoke kũmenya andũ a diaspora mũndũ wothe gĩũka America ũgĩkinya harĩa airport ũgakorwo na maĩ makwĩhoera magũrũ ũgethamba magũrũ ũkarĩkia tondu Kenya mũndũ arogerwo kuma Kenya ũgethamba toria Jesu erire afuasi yake wathi handu ũgethamba magũrũ ũguo ũgethambĩra before ũingĩte ndege tondu ndĩrakora andũ aingĩ mũno nĩ marathinĩka mũno gũkũ diaspora ũkona andũ matukire alcoholics nĩ matukire drug addicts for no reason. Family njega nĩ ithirĩire gũkũ na America is a great country. Andũ matia ũndaya makiuga mwende mũrudi Kenya twacoka Kenya kũ twaumire Kenya nĩ kwenda iti tondu Kenya America let us na andũ maikare na kiugo kĩa Ngai ũrĩa Ngai amende Ngai na mũtũmire bũrũri ũyũ mũgũtaganĩrie nĩ mũkinyange bũrũri ũyũ mũkinyange atĩ mwake kinya ma parliament mwake kinya government yanyu
mwĩgwatĩre
Ngai nakachoka kũmũteithia Africa mũgakorwo na hinya tati no gwaka nyumba kuria mucoka ni mundu agakwaga toro na ithanduku hapa tukanyaga kabisa
mwĩgwatĩre kũ tondu Ngai nĩ amukinyithĩtie kũ kuria mugakinya na magũrũ manyu mukegwatĩra.
Amen. Yes. Amen.
Na Ngai ateithie mugacĩre na Ngai ateithie muthereme na mukinyanĩre.
Amen.
Niguo glory ya Ngai ngumonagĩte icokerere Ngai
ma ini ma na kindu kingi ni tukamenya ni ngai uriko twa grow to go to them no me ngai ni tu ngai to gods there are many.
Yes. We are talking of the living God. The living God.
Gods issue ministry ko no go menya ngai uriko ukamenya the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Almighty, the God of Almighty.
Yeah, God Almighty.
Yeah. Ndake na muno ni nda no to magia na challenge ne no muno.
Otherwise neke ngirugire ageni
Eh.
ndoka nikaikira ruci ongerera mundu ingĩigĩrwo.
Na ndake na muno ni ndio ihinda rĩaku. Ngai to akũrathime muno reke tũingĩre gwa Ciro rĩu.
Alright. Shalom.
Shalom. Gĩtĩo kĩnene muno.
Alright.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So guys, Ngai to mũrathime nĩ twathi mathaa merĩ mega. It's good now time because ndamenya Ciro nĩ kũingĩra araingĩra. Karibu sana Miguel, John, Njathi, Benja, Ruru, Rizini Mo, Eunice, Rizini Mo, Sheila. God bless you. God bless you so much. Baby to mũrathime mũike wega. Tũkũmũhoera Ngai amũrathime na inyuĩ mwagĩa na kanya twĩte Ngai tũtũmagĩra itũ indo nĩguo na ithuĩ tũkahota gũka nakuo harĩa Ngai amũhingũrĩra njĩra rĩ Ngai witũ nake tũrathimage amũrathima na inyuĩ tũhingũrĩre yeye angĩ tondũ niĩ ndĩ mũbataru mũno nĩ gũthiĩ na nja Ngai amũhe kanya rĩ njutĩrai onani ngiume na gũkũ onani na niĩ njigue na kũu nja ũrĩa gũkoragwo kana nĩ atĩa mũndũ ũkũgĩa na opportunity nĩ anjĩte nĩguo nani ngiumagare ũguo nĩguo tũkĩhota gũteithania kana nĩ atĩa andũ aitũ. So God bless you so much. Ukipata opportunity tuite, tutakubali. Sisi tuko sawa, sisi tuko open. Niĩ ndirĩ na mũtumia kana ciana atĩ cikũnjoha thutha atĩ cigũtũma atĩ maũndũ makwa mambie kũgucagucia. Ndetwo mũthĩ ona ũngĩnjĩra njũke rũciinĩ no gũka ngũka. Ndirĩ na maũndũ ma kũnjoha. So Ngai to mũrathima, Ngai to mũike wega. God bless you so much for the 2 hours that you have been together. I'll also try to look for a time around the week so that I can come and then we exchange some ideas. Ngĩmwĩraga kũrĩa gũkongera nĩ the very very first destination ya this January. This January lazima niwatengenezee kama 2 ama 3 hivi site kadhaa za safari. Ngai to mũrathime, mwagĩa na kanya mũtwĩtĩre no tũgũkena. So God bless you so much. Mother John Dewe. Cambodia niĩ ndigũka niĩ. Kũrĩa kwaga nĩ ngũka. Haiko Cambodia kwĩna kanya kega. Ona mũngĩenda kũnjĩta Vietnam kana Taiwan kana Thailand. Kũrĩa kanya kega kari nĩ ngũka. Ndirĩ na thĩna. Kenya nĩ kũũru mũno. Tell for example, you heard that I am a part timer. Me I always part time. Na niĩ njaragia maũndũ marĩa me makwa tondũ niĩ ndiendaga kwehera mũthenya. Me am a part timer. Na university ĩrĩa ngoragwo part time rĩ. When I went to request for the payment, they told me that the people who are being paid this 2026 or maybe 2025. Now I was there last year 2025, so they told me that the people who are being paid 2025 married were 2015. So it is already 10 years. Mũndũ aikarĩte ũguo atarĩ arĩho. So ithuĩ na nĩ hĩndĩ tũragithire kũu rĩ. Let now whatever we are working for the 2025, the earliest we can be paid is 2035. So that is the earliest tũngĩetera mĩcara. Ndithathe nĩ ũrona mũndũ ta goro arĩa ta mũndũ nĩ ta kwa ngoma. Ndikwenda kwaria maũndũ maingĩ nĩ ũndũ wa maũndũ macio. I was told the earliest they can be able to pay is almost 10 years. So if opportunity comes, we tend to end. That is it. That is it. Na ndĩraria ũguo ndĩ mbere ya Ngai. Ũguo nĩguo nderirwo last year. Nderirwo andũ arĩa mararĩhwo 2025 marĩ andũ 2015, 10 years down the line. So andore mararuta riu ta riu iria turarutire last year 2024 acio makarihwo marathomithagia 2025 acio makarihwo kuma 2035 aria makorwo makiruta wira thaa ici 2026 magakorwo makirihwo 2036. Yeah, so that is it. Ngai witũ atigwo arĩ onga rĩu gwakinya hau rĩ ũkera Ngai niĩ mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ ingĩrwo thece gũthiĩ rũcinĩ tene gũthiĩ rũcinĩ rwa tene ta rĩu ndũngĩnjĩra atĩ mũcara ũrĩa rĩu njetereire thaa ici ũgũka 10 years from now ona mũndũ ora nĩ togũrũki njuge ta Kate karibu sana nguga tawe ũcio nĩ ũkombo na ũgũrũki mwĩna John Jack ũcio nĩ ũgũrũki wa biũ. And I'm telling you that before God, that is what I was told. God being my witness, ũguo nĩguo nderirwo last year. Andũ arĩa mararĩhwo nĩ andũ a 2015, 2016, 10 years down the line. Ũguo ithuĩ tũraruta thaa ici tũgakorwo tũkĩrĩhwo. Private kuona gũkũ ũguo nĩ ngori. Private kupata huko ni ngori. Hey bro. So Ngai tũmũrathime Shirũ nĩ aingĩra Ngai tũmũrathime nĩ tũthiĩ gwa Shirũ tũmũhe backup. Thank you very much. Bye bye guys.